everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Alex from Alex's Innovations, and today we are going to be crocheting something for my graduation cap. I walked for my master's ceremony yesterday, and I'll be walking for my bachelor's degree on Thursday. I'm all done with college, and I got to wear this fun hat. Here's the tassel. And I noticed that a couple people have their graduation caps decorated, and I actually decorated my cap in high school. Since I don't really have a car at college and I can't really go to the craft store, I decided I have to make something for my bachelor's ceremony. So this is the hat. It looks like this. When I put it on, it looks like this from the master's ceremony. You can see that I look very professional. I walked for my master's in chemical and biomolecular engineering. I completed that along with my bachelor's degree, also in chemical and biomolecular engineering. I sold all of my yarn, all of my plushie yarn, and all of my regular yarn, which was a big sad, but luckily I found some light blue and dark blue yarn. So I'm going to be working, basically the plan is to make a granny square for this hat, so I'll start in the middle and kind of work outward, and hopefully the tassel is not that big a deal to like switch over. I'll kind of have to figure that out. Maybe I'll like stick it through one of the holes later, but we'll figure that out later. If you're wondering where I am, I'm on my roof. I live on the 3rd floor of my 3-floor house. This is the best lighting by far because I have very poor lighting in my room right now. I think I'll start with a magic ring. I'm using size H hook. When I make plushies, I typically use size J hook, but the yarn is much thicker. And if I'm gonna make plushies with acrylic yarn, I typically use size F, which is thinner, but here I don't really care if the stitches are a little bigger because there's no stuffing, so there's nothing for it to, like poke through or anything. So to make a granny square, it involves making clusters of double crochets and then kind of making clusters of double crochets into the spaces in between the clusters on the previous row. So to start out, I'm just going to be making a square. This isn't really a tutorial per se. I guess this was more of like me crocheting and vibing, telling you about graduation and stuff. This is cotton yarn, which I typically don't work with. I actually bought this to make pot holders for a friend, and when you're making things that are going to come in contact with heat, like a pot holder or a coaster, you really want to use natural yarn because synthetic yarn, it's like plastic. Imagine like setting a hot thing next to a plastic thing. It will just burn and smell bad. That's why I got cotton. So that's the only thing I have left. If anything happens to it between now and graduation, it'll also be easier to clean. So here we have a little tiny square, and the colors look really nice. So it's going to go right here, and then I'll just work outward from here. So each row will be kind of like compounding like in a spiral. And then at the end, hopefully these are big enough that I can kind of like loop these around here if I can get the sizing right. I've been getting back into bracelet making. The day after I submitted my final paper, I started filming a bracelet video and I posted it. It's called Recreating a Bracelet I Made Years Ago. I haven't made a granny square in a while either. I think it's one chain in between clusters for the sides of the square, and then on the corner of the square it's 3 chains. I'm not used to working with this size crochet hook, so it's like a little disorienting because the hook is like a little bit smaller than what I'm used to be working with. Everything at like my university is closed because everyone's just graduating this week, so the gym was closed, unfortunately, to set up for graduation. They like line up all the graduates in the gym, and then we walk over to the lacrosse field. So that's where commencement activities happen. My high school graduation was like a parking lot graduation because I graduated in 2020. Also, my high school is much smaller, and I've never attended like a real college commencement before, so it was really nice to be a part of my first like official commencement, getting my master's degree, which was like kind of crazy. I was thinking of like changing my LinkedIn, like, because I currently have, studying for my bachelor's and master's at my university, and now I can change it to like Alex, Master of Chemical and Biomolecular Engineering, which is crazy. Okay, I finished with the 2nd row. Here's how we're looking. The colors of my school are actually blue and white, and I think black, but I think the colors used to be yellow and black. So all the graduation regalia is yellow and black, which is kind of silly. So I'm gonna make this blue, firstly, because this is the only yarn I have left, and secondly, because I think it would be fun. If there's wind in the background, or I guess inevitably an ambulance siren, I apologize. I live pretty close to the hospital, and I can't do much about the wind, but it creates a nice, calming atmosphere, perhaps. Maybe you can relax, sit back, make a bracelet, or crochet something. What are you guys working on right now, actually, if you're watching this? Are you kind of just chilling and watching me? Or are you doing something else, like making a bracelet, or maybe crocheting a plushie, or another craft entirely that I don't know about? Leave suggestions below. And also leave bracelet videos suggestions below. Maybe if you have a tutorial for a bracelet you really want to see, or another idea for me making content. Currently in the works, I have a video that is based off of making a bracelet off of my followers to-do list, which I'm really excited about, and that bracelet took me like 4 hours. It took me so much longer than I thought it was going to be. It's a pattern that I've never made before, and I definitely messed up a few times because I tried going on autopilot and I couldn't because the pattern was just too complicated. So that one definitely took me longer, but I'm also doing one where my followers choose my pattern. So I had people choose between 4 patterns and then choosing the colors for that. So that's a bracelet that's currently in progress, but I do want to get this graduation cap thing done at least by tomorrow. All right, 3rd square is done. This is how we're looking right now. In comparison, we got like maybe 3 or 4 rows left to go, but granny squares do not take that long. They're called granny squares because grannies make them allegedly like they can just make blankets, and it's a pretty repetitive pattern, so it's pretty simple. This is like a much easier way to make a blanket than, for example, just crocheting a solid pattern, because there are no gaps, so it's going to take much longer and much more yarn. So this is like a more economical way, I think, of making a large, piece of area. But it also looks stereotypically like crochet. Like you can't really replicate this in knit, at least not to my knowledge. Okay, this is the 4th row. They take longer the more you go because you have like more and more to make, but we're looking pretty good so far. Perhaps this might be, no, this is not the thumbnail. I'll do the thumbnail with like the completed one. I think that'll be best. But I'm trying to like film as many videos as possible during these next few days because I'm packing. Like I have to pack all my stuff to move out. Today is Tuesday. Graduation is Thursday. My family's coming to visit Thursday, Friday, and then we're leaving Saturday morning. I don't want to be packing a lot while they're here because I also want to spend time with them and show them around this city. So I'm kind of like trying to film as many videos as possible, and then with the free time that I have, I'll edit all of them and then kind of release them like one by one, if that makes sense, instead of like releasing 3 videos at once. I'm trying to like make the most of the time that I have here. I don't want to start packing too early because I still need a lot of the things. Like I can't pack clothes because I still need to wear clothes, and like I can't pack kitchen stuff because me and my 5 roommates all need those too. So it's a bit of a struggle trying to time exactly when is the perfect time to start packing. I also had to make the difficult decision of putting my Etsy shop on vacation. It's scheduled to go on vacation at 3 p.m. today. I think it's like 2 o'clock right now, so people have 1 more hour, but I need to mail my plushies back home. I tried to get rid of them as best as I could during pop-ups that I had at the end of the year, but I didn't want to make more inventory. I have like inventory for maybe half of a standard table that I have while tabling, and I don't want to go to like a 6-hour craft fair with half a table, and I don't want to make more inventory because then I'm just going to end up with half a table again. So it was kind of like putting me in a weird spot where I don't want to make more, but I also can't table. So I decided I'll just put my shop on a vacation, and then I'll ship the rest of my plushies back home so that when I get home, hopefully they're waiting for me. And I think that's the best way of doing it. Like I had to get rid of my yarn, which was very sad to see it go, but I'm glad that they'll find a new home for people who enjoy using them, making new things out of them. I think I also have a lot of mailers. Wow, the birds are so loud today. Why are they not sleepy from the heat? Oh no! We're running out. Fortunately, I have more. I have mailers. They're like pretty light because they mostly have like bubble wrap inside them, but I have a lot of them because I bought them in like bulk 2 years ago, and I didn't use that many of them. Like I used a fair amount, but not a lot. I realized like a lot of my Etsy sales in the last 2 years were from pop-ups. Like I didn't really make that many online sales compared to how I made, I guess, during COVID, like 2 years ago and before that. So I do have a fair amount of mailers left over. I've also been recycling mailers, so whenever I receive anything from Amazon or like Walmart or another online manufacturer, I always save the mailers and will reuse those. And those are nice, especially for larger items. So I don't really buy mailers for larger items because I just use those big ones. We're on square 5. So I have to mail the mailers back, and I was thinking I'll just cram a lot of plushies in the mailers box because I have a box that the mailers came shipped to me in, and I think I'm just going to ship that same box to my house because over winter break I put all my plushies in one huge box, and the USPS makes you pay a fee if the box dimensions are like over a certain limit. It's like an oversized fee, so even if it's heavier or lighter, it doesn't matter, you still have to pay that fee. So I spent $52 to ship my plushies about 300 miles. It was like 10 pounds of plushies. I really crammed them in there. I got there in like 2 days, which was really nice. but I don't want to do that again, so I'm gonna try and save some money and ship them in 2 separate packages. I'll just call it a business expense, you know, I can claim it as a write-off on my taxes next year. I'll try and keep track. That reminds me, I haven't kept track of the yarn that I've bought the last few times I've gone. I really tried to keep track, but every year, this is getting a little like technical. For those of you who have filed your taxes before, I always claim the standard deduction because that's always more. As a college student, I don't have a full-time job yet, so I don't make that much money. Oh, I tied the yarn wrong. I'm gonna try and tie it so it's like an invisible join. You can make it so that the knot is like barely visible because you cut the ties, but it takes a little bit of finagling. Keeping track of my deductions really aren't that much because I'm not buying new equipment. I've been using the same printer for 8 years to print shipping labels, and I think I'm gonna throw it out when I leave here. It's not worth taking it back with me. I've had it since I was 14. That thing has been like powering my business. See? Invisible. So I'm just gonna, I think, upgrade and get a really nice thermal printer so I don't have to buy ink cartridges, because I don't use my printer for anything other than shipping labels. I think it would be a decent investment. And you don't have to buy ink once you buy the printer, because the labels are like thermal, so you just buy the labels and that's it. I forget what I was talking about. I feel like I went in so many different directions with that like tangent that I forget what the original point of the sentence was. I really like the warm weather, so much nicer than the cold weather. My college is south of where I grew up, so it's definitely warmer here than it was when I was growing up, and I kind of like that. The winters are still cold though. It gets down to around 40 degrees Fahrenheit, and in the summers it can get up to like 90 or so. Oh, my scissors are getting tangled in the ball of yarn. Okay, this is the 6th square, so we're definitely getting there. I think one more, just judging on stretching the corners. But yeah, this is not gonna, we'll do one more maybe, so I don't have to stretch it too much, because this is already, oh, I stretched it out, look. I'll do one more, and then it probably should be fine from there. But this is working up to be pretty quick. I was thinking like less than half an hour for this, and I think I'm turning out to be right, because it's been about 21 minutes. I'm looking forward to getting like new video equipment, just finding a really nice computer to edit on, maybe getting a camera or using my dad's camcorder, because I've been using that. Like, I'm using my phone right now. I've tried using the GoPro to do time lapses, but I don't really like the color correction on it, in that you cannot color correct time-lapse videos like before filming. You can only do in wide camera angle. Whenever you shake the table, the arm holding it kind of shakes too. It's like a very strong wire, and you like bend it to your desired place where you want it, but every time you shake the table you hit the clamp, and then the clamp shakes the camera. And I kind of just want to get a tripod or figure out like a non-shaking setup in my new house, have like a permanent table that's only reserved for filming, so I don't have to move the tripod or anything. I think that would be really nice, and it would help me to make videos, because I don't have to completely set up and break down every single time I want to make a video. So kind of just streamlining the process. It would make it much more fun for me to make videos. As long as I can find a computer that has a good amount of storage on it, I should be able to import higher quality footage and then make better quality videos for you guys. So that's like the dream goal, I think. I kind of also maybe want to do a move-in vlog, or like building furniture vlog. I don't know if it's going to be too stressful to film the entire move-in process, but if you're interested in seeing something like that, comment down below, or if you'd rather I only stick to like bracelet and or crochet content, let me know too. I want to make content, I guess, that you guys want to see. It is nice to like have a following of people who care about like what I'm doing, so that's always nice. All right, I think we got one more side to go after I round this corner, and when I'm done with this, I can use this as a coaster too after I graduate. So it definitely is a multifunctional creation. It could be used as a washcloth, I guess, but there are some holes in it, so I don't know how absorbent it's going to be, but coaster, definitely. I made a coaster for myself out of the same yarn, sugar and cream, in a different color. And it's really effective. I've been using it for like a year. So here we are, we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows. Here's how it's looking unstretched on the hat. We'll try and stretch it and see how that works. Stretching appears relatively successful, I think. So this is how we're looking. I have this tassel here, and during the ceremony, they might say move your tassel over to the other side. Right now I can't do that because there's a corner in the way. So let me first finish this off. So I'll detach the yarn and weave in my ends and so on, and then I'll pull the tassel through one of the holes in the center so that I can effectively move it over. Finishing off, we're cutting our string, leaving enough room so that we can weave it in. And then out of my fun little test tube, I'll grab a yarn needle. These are bigger than sewing needles, by the way, so if you're new to crocheting, don't go for your sewing needle because you will not be able to fit the yarn in. And then we're just weaving it in through some of the loops just so it's not poking out, but not a big deal since no one's gonna be seeing this from very close. Right, so the end is woven in. Oh, I also gotta weave in this end in the center, so I'll do that now. Here's how it's looking. It is the color of the sky, which is really nice. We'll put it over here. So let's try and stick it once again on the hat. Hopefully the corners, I think it's like cardboard inside this hat. I think it should be fine. I don't think it should come off. So I might not secure it to the hat because I do kind of want to get some money back. This hat was, along with the rest of the graduation gear, was $50. Which I bought from someone who used to be a TA from me, but it originally sells for $90. So if I can reclaim some of that money back, that would be cool. So here, I'm just gonna try and pull the tassel through. We'll see if it fits, and I think it does. So I wanna make sure it's on the right side. Front of cap is here, right side is here, so it should be fine. So during the ceremony, when they say move the cap over to the left, I think we should be okay. So I'll do a final try on and a final, I guess, nice look at this. Look how cute it is. Yay! So this is the final look, I think. Hopefully it doesn't fall off my head, and hopefully you can see it. You can see that the yellow from my university is kind of silly. And then this is the university seal. That's it. I'm graduating and wanted to put a little something special on my cap. So if you liked this video, please consider liking, commenting, or subscribing to see what happens after graduation. Hopefully good things. In addition, please check out my Etsy. I sell many fun things. And finally, please follow me on Instagram, Alex Innovations, where I post fun updates. I also created a broadcast channel, which got over 100 people. So I'm really excited about that, but it's kind of like a little DM thing where I DM you and can get, like, it's like a more exclusive but very free opportunity, and I won't spam you to get more connected with me. So that's it. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you in the next one. Bye!